little bit of instruction on the oven then. This knob here is for the downstairs oven, and simply all you need to do to start to light the oven is to turn that to the temperature that you want the oven to be what you want the oven temperature that you're looking for, and that's it. Just leave that probably 3 or 4 minutes to bring itself up to temperature. So that's for the bottom oven. The top one here, this is an oven and a grill. So if you wanted to use the oven, you would turn this knob here anti-clockwise, and that would then operate as an oven here. If you want to use it as a grill, this one here, then you need to open the door and then turn this to the right, and just leave that. There's no adjustment to the temperature of the grill. It's either on or off, and at the moment it's on. So I'm turning that off now. When that's done, then close here. Be careful when you're, obviously with any grill, if it gets too hot, too smoky, then the smoke alarm will go off, in which case just open the back door. The hob, very straightforward, with these just pushing down as you turn, and the gas comes on. Very, very straightforward. For the hood, the far left here is the lamp, and these operate the fan, increasing the fan right to here. To knock the fan off completely, you actually have to switch it off by hitting this button here. The timer for the oven, I think you can probably work that out for yourself. That's very straightforward. When you're cleaning the oven, one thing you need to be really careful of is that under here, as you lift these off, these elements are very, very sensitive and will break. They're very, very fragile. They will break very easily, so please be very careful with those. I think it's the only part of the oven that you really need to be careful with. And these go back on. Obviously you don't need to take these off every time you clean, but when you do, just please be very careful of those spark elements. So here's the boiler in the kitchen. I'll just take you through this very, very briefly. Again, there are some instructions here, so you can look through these anyway. This knob here either is switched off completely, or this for your heating and for your hot water. This knob here will adjust the temperature of the rooms, of the heating, and this one here will adjust the temperature of the hot water. This meter here tells you what the pressure is, and it needs to be somewhere in the green 1 piece of pie. If it's not, then it's possible to adjust the pressure underneath here, and yeah, it's possible to do that. I'll have that done for yourself. How these work is that you move it to the temperature that you want it to be. It will show that temperature here, and then after a few seconds it will go back then to the current temperature. And that's the same for the water as well. If we move that, then that tells us the temperature that I'm wanting the water to be coming out of the taps. It does get very hot, so just be careful. And then if I leave that a while, it goes back to the current temperature there. For the pressure, if you do want to increase the pressure, you'll see there are 2 taps underneath here on a piece of on a U-bend, and you need to open both of those until it goes up. But don't go beyond halfway in the one, otherwise the pressure can go quite high. And it's possible to adjust that. It's fairly straightforward to do, but it's unlikely that you would need to change that anyway, to change the pressure. It's only if you've had to bleed the radiators that you would need to do that. So this is the remote controls for the boiler. What we've got here is this switches the heating on, and this tells you what temperature you want the heating to be at. What I tend to do is to switch this on, put this fully on, and then adjust the temperature from the boiler in the kitchen. And then the timing mechanism here is pretty straightforward. The instructions for that are underneath here, so you can have a look at those there. Battery, this will pop off the wall, and the battery will need replacing very infrequently, but every now and again it may need replacing.